Marshawn. Oh, Shalom. Shalom, family. Hold on real quick. Happy Sabbath. I'm trying to get my horn. Happy Sabbath. It's another one. All praise to the Most High. Today's going to be a quick one. Back with another one like the other one. Hush. Shh. If the shoe fits, wear it. If the shoe fits, wear it. Shalom, sister. Princess Tisa. And RIP to our brother Gideon, our mighty brother Gideon. He has transitioned, you know. Sorry, RIP to the mighty brother. You know, the brother was sick for a while, but he still was trying to do the work. You gotta give him that, you know. He's still trying to do the work. You know, his mind, but his body, you know, wouldn't let him. You know. So send your prayers up for his family and everything. You know. He will be missed. He will be missed. For sure. Mighty brother. He's a mighty brother. So he, you know, he's in the spirit world right now. You know, he's somewhere we ain't, you know, like the scripture say. What's that scripture where he says he absent with the Lord? Let me get that. Let's get that real quick for our brother Gideon. R.I.P. 2 Corinthians. It's crazy. I'm already on it too. 2 Corinthians 5:8. We are confident, I say, and willing rather to be absent from the body and to be present with the Lord. You know, no more suffering for the brethren. You know, I ain't gonna lie, he was holding it down though, cause you know I was around him. I had talked to him too not too long ago, and it didn't seem like he was. I mean, you could tell he was losing weight and stuff, but he was still holding it together real well. Cause that's what warriors do. That's what warriors do. But how was your week? How was your week? How was your week? Mine was cool, you know, just another week of school. 1 week closer to this 11-week program down. Going on week 5, halfway through it. I can't wait to get done with it. I'm tired of seeing these. I'm getting tired of seeing the same people, these little kids and stuff every day. Get on my damn nerves. This little Edomite girl, she want I was on the phone. We do this little exercise thing in the morning, little stretch, walk around the little track a couple times. So I told you guys I got into a car accident. Another little Cheeto might try to run me over. January 3rd. So I've been getting my car fixed and Cairo and all that, all that stuff when you get in an accident. So usually in the morning when we go on our little 3-mile walk, I hop on the phone, be handling business, This little Edomite, she's waiting for me. I'm trying to lag back in the back of the line so I could handle my my little calls and stuff. And I could tell she's looking. She keep looking. And then she's so nosy. She started walking by me side by side while I'm on the phone, which is weird. So, I didn't like that. Then when I got off the phone, she's all like, oh, she's like, this, you won't believe what she said. She said, this Edomite gonna say, who were you talking to? No, what she said, what were you talking about? And she said, who were you talking to? And what were you talking about? I'm like, what? Who the hell are you to ask me? Who am I talking to? And because she said, I'm just being nosy. I was like, oh, you are overstepping your boundaries. You are crazy, But yeah, just eat on my after the stop sign. Matter of fact, I was coming back from a walk. And I'm looking in the rearview mirror, and the lights are getting closer and closer. I'm at the stop sign. You're supposed to stop, look both ways, and go. So I'm at the stop sign, and I see this car and I'm looking in the rearview mirror. I see the lights getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I'm like, oh, look like they're not about to stop. Thought I hit the gas. Luckily, I did hit the gas a little bit, but she just boom rocked me. And she was in a truck. She was I think she was like 20 years old. Got a little ID, her and her little brother in her dad's pickup truck. She rocked me. And then she didn't even have insurance. She had her dad's insurance. But everything's taken care of now. So, hey, Jack G Bar up, man. And Jack G Bar up. Tore up my neck, my back, my neck and my back, everything. But, I'm still alive, I'm alive. I don't look bad. You can't tell. Can't tell. But she did some damage. I got a concussion. Matter of fact, she gave me a concussion. She gave me a mild concussion. So, man, been crazy. But yeah, all praise to the Most High though. Could be worse. And her dad is gonna pay me. Her dad's gonna pay. I think they're from Ukraine too. I should show you guys what she looked like. Hold on. Let me see something. Let me see. I'm gonna show you guys her because I got her ID. Hold on. I'm just gonna show you her face. I'm gonna show her a little. This is her ID. This is the Edomite that smacked me. It's the Edomite that smacked me. I was on her. I was like, man, what's your idea? Nah, hold on. I peel off. But yeah, she's in a big ass truck. But Shalom family, Danielle, Drea, Shalom. Happy Sabbath. Happy to see you all. Yep, physical therapy, Cairo, all that. You already know. But yeah, sis, our brother, and the brother that passed away. Well, yeah, our brother, man, last week, been 7 days. Been exactly 7 days. Our brother Gideon, transition. That's messed up. No more popping up, He ain't popping up no more on the chat or hit me up, talk about, bro, let's do this, let's do that. And, I knew him since high school too. I knew him since freshman year, since we were like 14. So, it just wasn't in the truth. I knew him outside of the truth. So, yeah. One day you're here, one day you're gone. He was just with you a couple of months ago. What happened? Yeah, he was just on here like 2-3 weeks ago. I think he had an illness. He said cancer or something. But he been dealing with that stuff for a while though. I don't know, he just held it. He just couldn't tell like that. But yeah, so we get into this little lesson. It's hush if the shoe fits, wear it. I don't know why people be getting mad. You be doing your lessons or whatever, brother be teaching in the street, whatever. If you hear something and you get cut by it, you get cut by it. The shoe fits, wear it. Just like at the doctor, people don't get mad at the doctor when they tell you something. The doctor tell you need to change your diet, lose some weight, or you need to do something. People don't get mad, most likely. But if you're a family member, your brother, sister, you get mad. Let's get into these scripts. Let's get in these scripts real quick. Because most of the time it be the spirit, I don't be talking about people particularly, but like I said, if the shoe fits, wear it. These spirits are not new. So, say if we talking about Creflo Dollar or something he did. But there's a lot of people, say we don't name them, but say if we just say pastors be stealing money or did it or something. Kind of like what Drewski did that skit. You see how it went viral and a lot of people are talking about it, and they might be sending it to their pastor. Like, oh, I know somebody like that, or like when he did the skit about the hair falling out. It's just not you. But let's check this out. No, hold on. No, let me get Galatians. I haven't got this one in a long time. Galatians 4:16. Look, am I therefore become your enemy because I tell you the truth? Am I your enemy because I tell you the truth? Am I your enemy because I tell you the truth? And quite frankly, I don't care. Look at this one. Amen. These are classic ones. They hate him that rebuke in the gate, and they abhor him that speak uprightly. It's a win-win situation. It's a win-win situation. You tell somebody they get mad, you don't need that person around you anyway, because they weak and they soft. But you tell them and they don't get mad, and they take the criticism, man, you gain you a soldier friend. You know, that's why I said friend, a brother is born in adversity. You know, that's why I said prove a friend. We don't want no weaklings around. You know, no softies. But that's having a respect the person. 'Cause like I said, if your doctor say something, or if some a certain person, you don't get mad. But I just be going on here, you know, on the spirit. Just, you know, some light bulb go off. You know, the Bible's a thick book. It's a big, thick book, but you know, it's let's go to Galatians 5 real quick. It's a couple of spirits. It's only a few spirits out here, wicked spirits running around. Look, the works of the flesh, Galatians 5:19. Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery, you might have this spirit on you, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulation, wrath, strife, seditions, heresies. These are all wicked spirits of the flesh: envyings, murders, drunkenness, revelings, and such like, of the which I tell you before, as I have also told you in times past, that they which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of God. Oh, let me get this. Let's go to this real quick. Let's go to 1 Corinthians 13. This is what I want. Charity. And though where I want to start. 1 Corinthians 13, and let's go to 3. No, let's go to 4. No, let's start at 3. And though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor, and though I give my body to be burnt and have not charity, it profiteth me nothing. Charity suffereth long and is kind. Charity envieth not. So you got charity, you're going to suffer long and you're going to be kind. Charity envieth not. Charity vaunt not itself, is not puffed up, doth not behave itself unseemly, seek not her own, is not easily provoked. See, that's one. So if you do feel like somebody's talking about you, but if you got this charity on you, you're not going to be easily provoked. Look, this next one: charity thinking no evil. They ain't say your name, so you shouldn't be thinking no evil. Rejoice not in iniquity, but rejoice in the truth. Beareth all things. So you're gonna go through all things, believe all things. You're not gonna be wishy-washy, like thinking, oh, Edomites can be saved. Now, hope all things. So you got hope. Endure all things. Charity never fail. But whether there be prophecies, they shall fail. Whether there be tongues, they shall cease. Whether there be knowledge, it shall vanish away. For we know in part and we prophesy in part. But yeah, charity thinketh no evil, charity not easily provoked. So Galatians 5, I say the works of the flesh. In this, you should go through this. Line yourself up with this. And make sure you ain't thinking no evil. You're not easily provoked. Like the Christians, they got that saying, what would Jesus do? What is it? WWJD? What would Jesus do? Like they get into a situation. What would Jesus do in this situation? That's what we should be doing. What would Yahweh do? Am I acting like Yahweh? I wanted to get this last week. I forgot to get this scripture last week. I was mad too. I signed off. I said, man, I forgot to get the script. Hold on. When Christ flipped over the table, I wanted to make a point. Matthew 21:12. I wanted to make a point. With this. Let's start at 11. Matthew 21:11. And the multitude said, "This is Jesus, the prophet of Nazareth of Galilee." And Jesus went to the temple of God and cast. I want all you guys to make your vision yourself back here. You're watching this, and you don't know this is the Son of God, right? I mean, no, I think at this time he did have a little reputation. He did have his reputation, not little reputation, but he had his reputation. And Jesus went to the temple of God and cast out all them that sold and bought in the temple, and overthrew the tables of the money changers and the seats of them that sold doves. And where's when he whooped them? I think that might be in Mark. Let's go to Mark 11 real quick. I think that's where they say when he made the cords. And the Pharisees, they was the popular ones. Pharisees, Sadducees, you know. So I'm gonna make a point. Dang, where's where he made the cords, casting out so bottom the temple, the table main changers. So look, and they came to Jerusalem, and Jesus went to the temple and began to cast out them that sold and bought in the temple, and overthrew the tables of the of the money changers and the seats of them that sold doves. So he was flipping over tables. He was probably, saying words, cussing, get the hell up out of here, And a lot of you guys will be like, oh, this dude got the devil on him. This dude got the goddamn devil on him. And they was saying that. They say he got Beelzebub. He got the devil on him. Imagine saying that. Because people say that. A lot of y'all say that. A lot of you guys be misjudging things because you guys are not warriors, men of war, or women of war, or just, I wouldn't say women of war, but I'm saying like thinking, examining the matter. There's time and place for everything. But imagine you back here in this, in the temple, and you're looking like, oh, this dude got the devil on him. Yeah. And you're saying bad things. And this is the Son of God handling business. Like he said, ain't I about my Father business? Imagine you like, oh no, he got the devil on him, that dude. And you always thought of him like that. That's that dude that was flipping over tables, And yeah, and you just like, oh, all they was doing is they was just in the temple. What were they doing? Selling stuff, He should let the authorities deal with that. And it's written. And he taught, saying unto them, it is not written, my house shall be called of all nations the house of prayer, but ye have made it a den of thieves. And the scribes and chief priests heard it. See, the scribes and chief priests was in there and sought how they might destroy him, for they feared him, because all the people were astonished at his doctrine. So imagine being back then and you say he was off for that. That's why you gotta be careful what you say. You gotta be careful what you say. Forgive them because they know not what they do. But have I become your enemy because I tell you the truth? Proverbs 15:10. Correction is grievous unto him that forsake the way. So when you hear something, remember, somebody corrects you, either directly or indirectly, it's grievous unto the person that's forsaking the way. Because me, how I take things, I don't care. If somebody say something to me, I don't care if I think they off, they wrong, whatever. I still take it into consideration. Why did they say that? And I will filter it through. And I'll be, I'll analyze it, I'll flip it and turn it, think about it. Man, why he or she say that? I don't care if they say this shirt is great. I mean pink. They're like, this dude got a pink hoodie on right now. And I'll be like, no, I don't got no pink hoodie on. But why did he say that? And I'll analyze it. It may come up, well, he's just bugged out. Or it maybe come up and might like, damn, this dude kind of look pink. Okay. He do got a point even though he's off, but I'm about to give me a new hoodie or something. But I'm not gonna be like, oh, and get super mad. But the shoe fits weird. So correction is grievance unto him that forsake the way, and he that hate reproof shall die. So, I mean, all you guys are going to go through this. You guys are going to be talking, prophesying, and somebody's going to think you're talking about them, or they're going to take it personal. And you're going to have to say, hey, at the end of the day, if the shoe fits, wear it. Don't apologize. Be unapologetic. Be unapologetic about it. Shalom. I know Grace says shalom. Grace don't say shalom. She says shalom. Shalom, Grace. Happy to see you. I love your profile picture. Looking real beautiful. I love all your profile pictures. All my sisters are beautiful. Sister Danielle, beautiful. Big Con, tell me if you see me going off. Oh, yo, for real. Exactly. We trying to get it right. Don't be a respected person and just have one person, your pastor, your bishop, your captain, your what else they got out there? Your soul sister or something. You just take it from them. And then we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that later about, we're gonna get into that. I'm gonna show you some history on that about having that one person that like Chat GPT. It tells you what you want to hear. Chat GPT is like mirror on the wall. Who's the best of them all? And it'd be like, you, Danielle, you're the best. You could shape that damn AI to tell you anything good, and you're never gonna grow like that. And we're trying to get it together before you see the doomsday clock. They said was 85 seconds, the closest to the world ending, right? So we're trying to get it together, even though we know they don't know, but we got an idea. But we trying to get it together right now. We're rehearsing righteous acts, and we're trying to get it together before our King, the Black Messiah, comes. So let me know. Let me know, because it's gonna be all liars outside them gates. Yep, righteous anger. Hey, but let them tell it. No, he got the devil on them. That's not. I don't know what they would say back then. They wouldn't say that's not Jesus. What would they would have said? They would have been like, that's not. I don't know what they would have said back then. They would have been like, that's not Pharisee like or something. Shalom, Neff, my brother Neff. Basically bearing false witness, right? Shalom, Neff, my brother Neff, the kingdom. Neff, our brother Gideon, has transition. I don't know if you probably heard, but our brother transition. But I felt about the situation. I didn't want to see him in his It's funny because the hospital is right by me. It's like literally like he was in the hospital like right behind me, and I didn't want to see the brother in that state that he was. I want to remember him as the mighty brother. I got a lot of flicks. We got a lot of pictures, a lot of stuff together. And but like I said, I talked to a brother a lot behind the scenes, and he was he told me some things, but he, I could say he was a warrior from because his mind, he wanted to do a lot of stuff, but I could tell, his body wouldn't let him, but his mind, he was trying to go. And then hold the whole thing with that little, when his camp, he was the only one in his camp up here, and he didn't flip. They was trying to get him. He didn't flip. Like some he wasn't being a follower. He wasn't a follower. It takes a lot for a brother, you know, to not go with the the rest of the guys, and and keep, and keep trucking. So, you know, pray the the Most High have mercy on them. We'll see that brother again. His his story's over now. His story's over. His story's over. But that was my guy. Like I said, I knew him since we was like 14 years old, man. You know what? I'm gonna tell you a story. He came. I met him. He had came from California. Came from California. And I went to this crazy school, like one of the craziest schools out here. We went to this crazy school, like damn near what's one of them movies? That movie with Coolio? What's his name? Coolio? Dangerous Minds. It was like that. Like it was a bad, crazy school. Crazy school. Matter of fact, two people just got killed right outside of the school, like 2 hours ago. Just seen it, breaking news. But look, so Gideon, I believe he was like a year older than me. I think he had transferred and they held him back. So somehow he was in like one of my classes, and then this dude was trying to fight him, right? I didn't know him. This is how me and him became close, because this dude, they were trying to actually jump him. They're trying to jump him, and they were like, "Yeah, we're gonna meet Gideon." Tell that they're running it by me too. They're like, "Hey, we're gonna beat this dude up at They're trying to trick him. They was like, look, I'm gonna try to fight him, and then we're gonna jump in. So and so gonna jump in. We're gonna pack him out. But this is probably like a week after this like the second week of school, and I'm just like, but I was cool with Gideon. Like I met him. I didn't know him, but I was cool. But I was like, nah, we ain't about to do old boy like that. We ain't about to do him like that. And I was like, you're gonna let him. We're gonna fight, but you're gonna let him get a fair one. You're gonna let him get a fair one. Cause there's a McDonald's. They used to try to go fight in the McDonald's parking lot, like behind McDonald's. And then, I like get in, get his fair one, And he did his thing, he got his fair fight, and then we was always cool. And he knew that I looked out for him. So we were always like, bro, appreciate you, not letting the guys jump me. Because he wasn't from here, he was from an Israelite. He's a stranger. They're like the kids. He's a stranger. He's not from the 206. That's our area code. He's not from the 206. He's not from Seattle. This dude's from the Bay. Let's get him. Let's jump him. So I was looking out for my brother, man. I was looking out for my brother. And then he returned the favor. It was crazy. Because he ended up getting kicked out or transferring to this other school. And the same situation happened with me. And he looked out for me. Same thing. He told me, Elder, this guy trying to jump you, bro. But, if you help me, I'm going to help you. All praises. I love y'all. I'm 52. Hold on. All praises. Black don't crack, sister. I love checking the clock. Are you talking about that doomsday clock? If you're talking about that doomsday clock, I was just looking at the origins of that earlier. Um, I guess they made that thing in 1947. I want to see like how did I guess it can move like 7 minutes, and hopefully the next time they check it, that thing move 50 minutes, 30 no 78 minutes. You'd be like, damn, we're 2 minutes away. My 52. Oh yeah, bro. Yeah. Oh no, I didn't hear. Yeah, last week, Neff. Last Friday, man. Yep, righteous strong brother. Cause like I said, that brother, his mind wanted to go. I know how that is, Like you guys don't understand how brothers be out there on the streets and stuff. Man, we want to do a lot of things. I remember one time, man, we was teaching, man. I had a damn migraine. It was crazy. I made it through. Um, I had to drive home. I even had to pull over. But all praise to the Most High. You know, I hope his son keeps going this shit. Right, man. I know. That's why I was just thinking too, sis. I was just thinking. The brother even had his son. That's mighty too. That's mighty to have his son. His son is moving hard. I loved his son. Love his son. I used to like him to read for me. I used to love that little brother, like hey, I always wanted him to read for me or to be by me. I love that dude. So hopefully, I can link up with that brother, me and him. I gotta get his yeah, if that brother seeing this, you know, I need to cause that's one thing he told me. I knew he told me, he's like, bro, he told me this probably like 4 or 5 months ago. I thought it was strange. He was like, bro, I just want you to, can you, yeah, he was like, anything happened to me, bro, just look out for my son for me, you know, just look out for my son for me. I feel like, you're one of the brothers to keep him on the right path. So I'm just like, why are you saying that, bro? Like he knew he felt like his time was short. So, you know, me and that brother, we could do some damage. All I need is one brother, man. Go, all I need two of us, Israelites, we can do damage. Do damage. So, I'm gonna try to reach out to that brother. Con, he ain't gotta suffer no more. Yeah, exactly. No Jacob's trouble, no bills, no nothing. The brother, I'm actually jealous. Like, dang, brother, he escaped. Damn, that's heartbreaking. Con. She said, I used to check that prior to the truth. Yeah, I used to hear about that damn doomsday clock. It was pretty interesting. Right, second letter breaks down the time, right? Yep, they got the doomsday. In fact, we can get that in a second. And I'm gonna continue on with the lesson. But I just like to chat with y'all, man. I really be coming here to see my fam, my fam. But yeah, we're gonna get that. Remind me, I'm gonna get that real quick. Matter of fact, let me get that right now before I forget. We'll get that doomsday right there. Real quick. Second address. second address. I don't know if you're talking about this scripture, but or you're talking about the where it says time. I'm just gonna read this. Second address 7 and 43. But the day of doom shall be the end of this time, and the beginning of the immortality for to come, wherein corruption is past. See, the day of doom. So Esau know a little bit, They got Satan working with them on the left hand side, you know. And there's the other one where it's talking about what's that? Second address, it might be 14. We're talking about the clock. I think it might be 14. Hold on. If you guys know that scripture, post it for me. It's in second address though. I'm going to have to look that clock up. Right. That hurts, but I know it gets greater later. All praise to the Most High. Yep. Hey, no torture, no nothing. He don't gotta go through none of that. How do you get to see the clock? Let's pull it up real quick. Hold on. Hold on real quick. I'm gonna pull it up real quick. Damn thing is. Hold on. Here you go. Right. I just type in doomsday clock. It's now look. Let's check it out. It is now 85 seconds to midnight. 2026 doomsday clock statements. Hold on. Hold on real quick. Okay. It says so founded in 1945 by Albert Einstein. So Albert Einstein, J. Robert Oppenheimer, University of Chicago scientists who helped develop the first atomic weapons in the Manhattan Project, the Bulletin of Atomic Scientists created the Doomsday Clock 2 years later. So they created it 2 years later using the imagery of apocalypse, midnight, in the contemporary idiom of nuclear explosion. Oh, let's get into it real quick. It is now 85 seconds to midnight. A year ago, we warned that the world was perilously close to global disaster and that any delay in reversing course increased the probability of catastrophe. Rather than heed this warning, Russia, China, the United States, and other major countries have instead become increasingly aggressive, adversarial, and nationalistic. So I guess every July 1st, their new year, they move the clock depending on like how the world is, right? With their little wizards. And they've been doing it since 1947. Yeah. They've been doing it since 1947. but I've browsed through it a little bit, and I know, like I said, I know in like 1994, I believe it went back. I think one of them years it went back, or 1991 it went back. Doomsday. Let me see. But yeah, that's all that he adds that. Yeah, all praises. That is, it's an honor. You know what I mean? It's a brother, trust me. Cause you just gonna ask nobody to watch your take over your watch your seed. But I've always been thorough. I'm thorough. I'm very thorough, man. You feel me? I'm very thorough. Some people say I'm crazy and stuff, but I'm thorough. Tell you the truth. Exactly. You don't need no massive camp. All that stuff be fake. A lot of that stuff, a lot of these people, they just need to be around people, and they need to be in groups, social boy clubs and stuff. And a lot of the guys, they don't even be believing and trusting each other, But everybody got to work out their own salvation. Yes, please reach out to me. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get in contact with that brother. That'll be mighty. Either way, we're gonna get this truth. All praise to the Most High. All praises. See what's happening with your peeps. Second address 9. Okay. Second address 1411 for the world. Yeah, that's exactly what. Yeah, I was there 14, but yeah, that's exactly what I wanted. For the world is divided into 12 parts, and the 10 parts of it are. Yeah, let's get that. See, I was there in the 14. For the world is divided into 12 parts, and remember, this is back then in Esdras time. For the world is divided into 12 parts, and the 10 parts of it are gone already in half of a 10th part. And there remain that which is after the half of the 10th part. So look, he was telling back then, look at 13. Now therefore set thine house in order and reprove thy people. See, reprove thy people. Comfort such of them as be in trouble, and now renounce corruption. Let go from thee mortal thoughts. Cast away the burdens of man. Put off now the weak nature. Now check this out. It says, now get your house in order and reprove thy people. Say you reproving our people, and somebody, oh, you talking about me? Right? Somebody says, get off that weak nature. We got to get it together and set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee, and haste thee to fly or to flee from these times. Look, for greater evils than those which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter. He said, greater evils. For look how much the world shall be weaker through age, so much the more shall evils increase upon them that dwell therein. See, and our brother Gideon don't have to see that. Let's go back to second address 7. That's when we get the doom. See, you got the clock, then you got the doom, precept upon precept. But the day of doom shall be the end of this time. See, they know that. Them little wizards, them little Edomite wizards, no. I guess it's a non-profit company that been rocking since 1947. You feel me? Keep these laws and commandments. Time is drawing close. Yes, sir. It was based off the world being close to nuclear weapons. Right. Because they know it's over after that. We witnessing prophecy unfold right before our eyes. Exactly. Let me get. Oh, let me go back. Let's get Sirach. Ecclesiasticus. I've been running my mouth. I still got a couple scripts. 21:6. He that hate to be remember Ezra says, and reprove thy people. And he says, he that hate to be reproved is in the way of sinners. He said, if you're in the way, but he that fear the Lord will repent from his heart. So you can't hate to be reproved. You can't hate him that rebuke in the gate. You am I your enemy because I tell you the truth? You can't have respect of persons on who can tell you what. You can't do that. You shouldn't do that. It says you forsake the way when you do that. You know, don't be a respect of persons. I'm tripping on Proverbs 12:1. Whoso love instruction, love knowledge, but he that hate reproof is brutish. Right? Don't hate to be reproved. You know, like David said, he said, look at me, know my ways, know my thoughts. Right? He said it was good for me to be reproved, so I could learn thy precepts. Right? Proverbs 28. Proverbs 28:21. To have respect, see, you don't have respect to persons. To have respect of persons is not good. Don't just listen to your doctor. Don't just listen to your favorite teacher, because you don't know where that message is coming from. It might be from a dang 3-year-old say something about you. So don't have respect of persons. It's not good. For a piece of bread, that man will transgress. It's telling you what kind of spirit you got. You got respect of persons. It says you'll sell out your brethren for a piece of bread. Right? You sell them out. Because all these spirits are characteristics. Let's get Isaiah 39 and 30 and verse 9. That this is a rebellious people, lying children, children that will not hear the law of the Lord, which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceits. Don't tell me about myself. Just tell me how pretty I am. Tell me how good my hair wrap is. Tell me, tell me how mighty my beard look. You know, speak unto me smooth things, prophesy deceits. Right? It says to you, don't be like this. Don't be like that. Let me get Jude. Then I'm gonna get the little story, the little history that I want to show y'all in the scriptures of a brother that was like that and got his wig split. But these speak evil of those things which they know not. These speak evil of things you know not. Remember I told you about Christ flipping over the table? You don't know that, you ain't been studying, you don't know the scripts. So you speaking evil of the Son of God flipping over the tables. but what they know naturally as brute beasts. Remember, it says in Proverbs, it says you was brutish, right? But what they know naturally, which is carnally, not spiritually, as brute beasts, in those things they corrupt themselves. It says, woe to them, for they have gone in the way of Cain and ran greedily after the error of Balaam for reward. Remember, say you'll sell them out for a piece of bread, just showing you about the spirit that it can lead to. Just like anger can lead to murder, you know, hatred can lead to murder. That's why I said if you hate thy brother, you're a murderer. That's why I said if you think upon a maid, you already committed adultery. See, we're learning what it can get to. That's why you want to stop it in its tracks, right? And it perished in the gainsaying of Korah. Let's double down on that. Peter spoke upon the same thing. 2 Peter 2 in verse 12. But these are natural brute beasts, carnal. Natural's carnal, not spiritual, made to be taken and destroyed. If you don't fix that, that's what's going to happen. You're going to be made to be taken and destroyed. Speak evil of things that they understand not. See, they don't understand it. Like I said, you don't understand Christ flipping over the table. Imagine being back then, and you've seen in the Son of God doing that. You're natural, you're carnal, and you're like, man, this dude's wicked. You're one of the people that's like trying to stone him. See, speak evil of things that they understand not, and shall utterly perish in their own corruption. 13, and shall receive the reward of unrighteousness, as they that count it pleasure to ride in the daytime, spots they are and blemishes, sporting themselves with their own deceiving while they feast with you. See, they're feasting with you, but they're wicked as hell, talk backbiting, talking behind their back. They're being a bad friend, a bad brother or sister, right? I'm gonna get the history lesson that I wanted. First Kings. Let's do 22. I think this is Ahab, which was a king. Let's see where I want to start. So look, a little history lesson. Ahab. Okay, I'm gonna read. I'm gonna start from. Okay, let's start from 2. And it came to pass in the 3rd year that Jehoshaphat, the king of Judah, came down to the king of Israel. So they got the king of Judah coming down to our northern kingdom king. You know, the northern kingdom was wicked. When the king of Israel said unto his servants, know ye that Ramoth in Gilead is ours, and we be still and take it not out of the hand of the king of Syria. So they want to go take Ramoth and Gilead, right? The Israelites are, they're talking and they're trying to go take it over. Verse 4. And he said unto Jehoshaphat, wilt thou go with me to battle to Ramoth Gilead? So the king of Israel asking the king of Judah, he said, are you trying to go down there with me so we can snatch it up? And Jehoshaphat said to the king of Israel, I am as thou art, my people as thy people, my horses as thy horse. So he's like, man, Mikasa Sukasa, you my brother, my people, your people, your whips and my whips. That's what he said. And Jehoshaphat said unto the king of Israel, inquire, I pray thee, at the word of the Lord today. So Jehoshaphat, but there's one stipulation. You have to inquire of the Lord, shall we go up or not? See, Jehoshaphat know the history of the kings of Northern Kingdom. You know they ain't right. They ain't right. So he's like, we can go up, but we're going to ask the Lord first. Watch this. Then the king of Israel gathered the prophets together, about 400 men, and said unto them, shall I go against Ramoth Gilead to battle, or shall I forbear? And they said, "Go up, for the Lord shall deliver it into the hand of the king." So he got 400 men, 400 men, prophets. And they were like, "Yeah, it's yours, man. Go up there." Well, check this out. And Jehoshaphat said, "Is there not here a prophet of the Lord besides that we might inquire him?" Because Jehoshaphat, he had discernment and wisdom. He know this dude got false prophets around him that tell him. Remember, we read Isaiah, tell me smooth things, prophesy deceits. He knew his little his guys around him told him lies, just told him what he wanted to hear. So he's like, he's like, nah, I ain't about to go off of that. You feel me? And get knocked off. He said, Jehoshaphat said, "If there not here a prophet of the Lord besides," he's like, "We need, hold on, I need to get somebody else." He had 400 people. It's like, man, that ain't enough. Imagine 400 people all saying the same thing. It's like, bro, you're tripping. That's enough, bro. It's more than enough. But this dude, Ahab, had a history. He was off. And watch this, verse 8. And the king of Israel said unto Jehoshaphat, "There is yet one man." He said, "There's one man, Micaiah, the son of Imlah, by whom we may inquire the Lord." He said, "There's one man we can get." He said, "Look, I already got it highlighted. But," he said, "but I hate him." Remember, I hate him. They hate them that rebuke in the gate. If I become your enemy because I tell you the truth. So he said, but look, he said, "I hate him, for he do not prophesy good concerning me, but evil." See, so the king of Israel think it's evil. He said he don't prophesy good things of me. No, he prophesying the truth of you, boy. And Jehoshaphat said, "Let not the king say so." Then the king of Israel called an officer and said, "Hasten hither Micaiah, the son of Imlah." And the king of Israel and Jehoshaphat, the king of Israel and Jehoshaphat, the king of Judah, sat each on his throne. So they both sat on the thrones. Boom, boom. Having put on their robes in a void place in the entrance of the gate of Samaria, and all the prophets prophesied before them. And Zedekiah, the son of made him horns of iron. And he said, "Thus saith the Lord, with these shalt thou push the Syrians until thou hast consumed them." And all the prophets prophesied, saying, "Go up to Ramoth Gilead and prosper, for the Lord shall deliver it into the king's hand." See, they just telling him what he want to hear. The messenger that was gone to call Micaiah spake unto him, saying, "Behold, now the words of the prophets declare good unto the king with one mouth. Let thy word, I pray thee, be like the word of one of them, and speak that which is good." So they're trying to bribe him, like, man, just say it's good. Well, look what Micaiah said. And Micaiah said, "As the Lord liveth, what the Lord saith unto me, that I will speak." He said, "What if the Lord say whether good or bad, well, I'm going to speak." See, that's a true soldier, warrior. So he came to the king, and the king said unto him, "Micaiah, shall we go against Ramoth Gilead to battle, or shall we forbear?" And he answered him, "Go and prosper, for the Lord shall deliver it into the hand of the king." And the king said unto him, "How many times shall I adjure thee that thou tell me nothing but that which is true in the name of the Lord?" And then look, watch. He said, "I saw all Israel scattered upon the hills as sheep that have not a shepherd. And the Lord said, These have no master. Let them return every man to his house in peace." And the king of Israel said unto Jehoshaphat, "Did not I tell thee that he will prophesy no good concerning me, but evil?" But see, I'm going to start right there. You got to read this in your own. What ended up happening, they end up, I think, throwing Micaiah in jail or something, smacking him up, beating him down, And look, in verse 18 said, the king of Israel said to Jehoshaphat, did not I tell thee that he prophesied not good? It is good. What do you see? He's bugged out. It is good. It wasn't evil. He was telling you don't go up there because you're going to get knocked off. And what happened, he ended up going up there anyways. And they ended up knocking the king of Israel off. And what happened, when they went to war, they was hawking him down. They focused, like he tried to disguise himself, but the Most High put it in the Syrians' heart where they like, no, we're locking in on this fool and we're going to get him today. So it's not evil. So when a brother is no matter, you should not, it's dangerous to have another people that tell you what you want to hear, yes men around you. That's life or death. So it's not evil, it's good, you know. So that's what ended up happening to him. You read that rest of that story, he ended up getting an arrow to his heart, I believe, and got fatally wounded and got knocked off. He should have listened to Micaiah, but that's what can happen when you always want yes men. You got respect of persons. You will end up losing your life, your spirit. So hush, if the shoe fits, wear and correct yourself. And correct yourself. So yeah, Cash App Just Israel. All praise to the Most High. To you guys that do donate, appreciate it. Yeah. Once again, man. You know, send a prayer for our brother Gideon and his fam, you know, his son, you know, send the prayers. Final thoughts is, don't, always correct yourself. Like we was talking about the doomsday clock. There ain't no time to be, all weak. Like I said, get rid of that weak nature, correct thyself, examine yourself, constantly examine yourself, whether you be in this truth or not, constantly grow, like if you ain't growing, if something ain't growing, you dead. So constantly grow, we check each other, keep in contact with each other, They say this life is short. Life is like a vapor. It says our life is like a vapor, real short and tedious, So this is not our rest. This ain't our rest. We're just passing through. It's almost over. Hopefully we see our brother again. But yeah, man, happy Sabbath. I love every single one of y'all, especially y'all that my loyal, my Tisas, Death, Grace, Andrea, Danielle, you guys keep me going, especially in a time like this. That was my God Gideon, man. Like after all the, we had our little core, and everybody's gone. Everybody gone. They either went back to the world, half went back to the world, the other half changed. I mean, I guess everybody damn, you could say went back to the world. And it was just me and Gideon, and now he's gone. I feel like I'm one of the last ones, standing out here in the 206 or in the Seattle area. But yeah, it's gonna be all right. So, sister said, hold on, let me get this real quick. All praise to the Most High, sis. Final thoughts: constructive criticism will only make you grow and be a better you. Right. Mm-hmm. And just remember, like, we can't take life for granted, can't take life for granted. Like we made it to this one, you know, like everybody didn't make it, you know. So, you know, Lord's will. I'll see. That's why we say Lord's will, because Lord's will. I'll see y'all, you know, next week. Prayers up for my bro Gideon and his family for real. So, yeah, Lord's will. I'll see you all next week. You know, happy Sabbath. Thanks for rocking out with your boy G Bar. You know, like you guys just don't understand. You guys really mean a lot to me. I love coming on, seeing y'all. You know, and appreciate it, man. But yeah, Shalom. Happy Sabbath. Until next time, I pray to the Most High and His Son, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Barakatah, Kwam Yasharala, Rise, Israel, Rise. You know, remember Gideon, he used to do the little horn for us. He's like, hold on, let me get my horn, you know? So, yeah. So we'll see that brother again. Shalom.